Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new 2015 AG Adidas F50 adizero in the solar red colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with black strings. You will find that ghost graphic there on the front as well as your white adizero branding. On the back of the bag you're going to find a white Adidas logo and a little rectangular internal open mesh bag where you can fit some extra insoles, your keys, your phone, whatever else it may be, whatever you want to put in that string bag. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly and take a closer look at the AG variation of the 2015 F50 adizero from Adidas. So in today's video, we're of course going to be taking a closer look at this shoe and pretty much everything you would want to know about it. We're going to talk tech specs. We're going to talk specifically about the AG sole plate as well as how it affects the performance of this shoe when it comes to traction as well as the weight of the F50 adizero. And if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website. It'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page you will find buy it now links for the AG F50 if you are at all interested. So again, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. When I think F50 adizero, I think lightweight. But in the case of the AG F50 adizero, for those that are more familiar with Adidas's AG sole plates and stud patterns in general, you probably already noticed that this one is no different than what you're going to find on the Predator, with the 11 Pro, or even the Nitrocharge 1.0 AG variations, which means that there's probably going to be a weight difference between the AG F50 and the firm ground F50, even though they're technically the same model. That's what we're going to see right now in real time using this scale. Keep in mind these are both in brand new condition and both in the exact same size 9 US. We'll start off with the firm ground variation of the 2015 F50, throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.15 ounces, which is equal to 203 grams. So make sure you remember those numbers, 7.15 ounces, 203 grams. We'll pull that off the scale and we'll throw on the AG variation. Again, same size, brand new condition, throw it on the scale, and you can see that these guys weigh in at 9.1 ounces, essentially 2 ounces more than the firm ground variation, which is the equivalent of 258 grams. Now, while this is by no means overly heavy, it certainly is not what you would consider to be lightweight or ultra lightweight, which is kind of the goal of the F50 adizero line in the first place. So if you are playing specifically on artificial grass and if you're looking for an ultra lightweight option, the AG F50 adizero, while it is available and while it may be marketed as a lightweight speed boot designed specifically for artificial grass, it isn't actually lightweight, which I think is going to surprise quite a few people. And the reasoning behind this is, like I mentioned earlier, Adidas has not actually modified the sole plate in any way from their other AG models to make this one more lightweight and more suited towards the F50 adizero type of feel. So that is the reasoning for the extra weight. Obviously nowhere near as light as the firm ground variation, and definitely something worth keeping in mind if you were buying the F50, partly because they're supposed to be light. As far as performance is concerned, the biggest downside to the AG F50 adizero is what you just saw. It's not lightweight. At 9 ounces, that is simply unacceptable for a shoe that is supposed to be the lightest in terms of what Adidas has to offer, but being 2 ounces heavier than the already heavier than last year's F50 adizero, like I said, is just unacceptable. And what Adidas has done here, quite frankly, is pretty lazy. I understand that they have an AG sole plates and stud pattern combination in place already, and they wanted to implement something similar on the F50 adizero, but that's just it. It should have been something similar and not necessarily identical to the sole plate slash stud pattern combo that we've seen on their Predator line, their Nitrocharge line, as well as their 11 Pro line. All shoes that are not necessarily geared towards being as lightweight as possible, like the F50s. So for them to just implement the exact same sole plate stud pattern construction that we find on those shoes on the F50 adizero, that makes for a weight gains of 2 ounces versus the standard firm ground variation. Again, it's just the very lazy way of doing things, and to a certain extent defeats the purpose of buying the F50 adizero with the AG variation. With that being said, if you don't mind the extra weight that this shoe does have to offer and you just want the thin barefoot feel that the upper is going to provide, then there definitely is some positiveness to the overall performance of this shoe. But if you're looking for a lightweight feel, You're just not going to get it with the AG F50. So as far as the sole plate and stud pattern is concerned, it's the same sole plate and stud pattern we've seen many times on Adidas's prior AG models from different silos, including the current Predator Instinct and current 11 Pro 3. So what we have here is a thicker than average plastic sole plate. It's got good flexibility to it, and because it is a little bit on the thicker side, it's pretty good as far as heat resistance is concerned. So if you are playing on artificial grass on an outdoor field in the summertime when it can get very, very hot, something like this is going to do a pretty good job at dispersing that heat, not only in terms of benefiting the overall durability, but also just having a more comfortable feel on your foot overall because of all that extra heat, and this kind of being a barrier between the actual very hot turf and your foot. And as far as the stud pattern is concerned, again, nothing has changed here in terms of what we've seen from Adidas AG stud patterns over the last couple of years. A little bit of a different kind of layout in terms of what we see from Nike with their AG stud patterns, but definitely very similar in terms of overall performance. I would say that this is a little bit less aggressive. You can see you have kind of triangular studs scattered throughout the entire forefoot and heel area. Obviously, they are about half the length of a standard firm ground shoe because you don't need that extra length to the stud in fairly shallow artificial grass playing surfaces, and you have lots of studs all over the place, so stability is not an issue. You get that grip at push off, but because they're shorter and the overall shape of them, you don't get that clingy locked in sensation that you'll get from wearing firm ground shoes on artificial grass, which is not only fairly unsafe, it's not good for the overall durability of the shoe. You're also going to notice that the thicker plastic has a higher lip around the edges of the shoe, which is also going to help with the overall durability and longevity of the shoe when being used on very abrasive artificial grass playing surfaces. Again, my one complaint here is that it should have been something more tailored towards the F50 adizero, being a little bit more lightweight and something more along the lines of what we see from Nike with their AG stud pattern implementations. Not only do we see an AG stud pattern that is specific to that particular silo, we also get sole plates that kind of travel from one stud pattern to another, meaning that, or just as an example, with the Superfly 4, if you buy the firm ground variation, you get the carbon fiber sole plate. If you buy the AG variation, you still get the carbon fiber sole plate. There's obviously going to be some kind of a weight difference because it is a different stud pattern, but it's not as significant as 2 ounces, which is what we see here on the F50 adizero. So as far as the sole plate and stud pattern is concerned, fairly unacceptable in my opinion. As far as the upper goes, the rest of the shoe is the same as a regular firm ground 2015 F50 adizero. It's a one-piece hybrid touch material. It's on the thinner side, provides a nice barefoot feel, but at the same time does have a very slight amount of padding to it. Pretty much a completely smooth, seamless finish to the actual shoe. Not a lot of overlapping materials. Obviously a central lacing system here. And you do have that ghost graphic on top that not only gives the shoe a very distinctive look, it actually does have the kind of dribble text texturing on the surface that is very noticeable to the touch, not as noticeable when you actually have a ball at your feet. Provides a little bit of an additional grip on the ball that may feel a little bit strange at first, but you get used to quite quickly from what I found just by testing out this particular shoe. Again, central lacing system, nothing too unusual there. Does have a lower cut in the heel, synthetic leather heel liner made from a smooth synthetic leather. Obviously it does have a special graphic on there. Insole is fully removable, only one set of insoles included with the shoes. It features a synthetic suede liner on top. This colorway does have the Champions League branding, as you guys can see, and it's made from a single layer of this black foam material. This would be the equivalent of a comfort insole that we saw on the 2014 F50 adizeros, so that came with the 2014 F50 adizeros. A nice dense black foam, a little bit nicer than actually the previous ones, and provides some really good stepping comfort. No issues with the sliding around or anything like that. And all in all, just a nice set of insoles that they include with the shoes. But overall, if you're looking for something that's going to provide a premium thin barefoot feel for the ball, that is the type of sensation that this shoe is going to provide. But if you're looking for an ultra lightweight feel, that is something that the AG F50 adizero just simply cannot provide for you. Very quickly, I just wanted to talk about the overall appearance of the new 2015 F50. This is obviously the solar red color, which is more of an orange than a red in person. I would say that in very well lit environments, it comes across as being a bright orange, whereas in slightly darker environments, it definitely comes across as more of a dark red. And the pictures online and even the professionals wearing them on TV, they definitely look more red than they are orange. But again, in person, much more orange than red. So please keep that in mind if you are planning on ordering a pair. You have the ghost graphic on top that kind of has that snakeskin look. You have kind of this foggy, smoky kind of undertone as far as the colorway is concerned, which I actually quite like the look of. I know not everybody's a huge fan of this shoe. They really went for more minimal styling as far as branding is concerned. You have your F50 branding there on the tongue, 3 stripes on the tongue as well, 3 stripes going across the back of the heel, which I think looks really, really cool. Your Adidas logo in white on the medial side, and your Adizero branding in chrome right here on the lateral side of the heel. Obviously, the graphic does continue on in the sole plate with that ghost graphic, as well as the actual 3 stripes in the heel that kind of continue on, but not completely, as you guys can see. But all in all, I think this is a pretty good looking shoe. I know not everyone's a fan, but leave your opinions down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the on-feet portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. Alright, so here is a look at the AG 2015 F50s on feet. On my left foot I have the stock laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of white reflective SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, check out the website sr4ulaces.com. It'll be linked down below in the description of this video, so go ahead and check it out if you're interested. As far as how these things fit and feel on feet, despite the AG sole plate and stud pattern being quite different from that of the firm ground variation, the overall shape and fit of the shoe is identical. Nothing has changed here whatsoever. So if you've tried on the firm ground variation, the AG variation will feel exactly the same on feet, other than a slight difference in terms of how they feel under your feet, if that makes any sense, just because the stud pattern is, again, a little bit different, but the shape and fit pretty much the same. You're going to find that it is a tighter fitting shoe, but in comparison to the 2014 F50, I would say is just a touch wider pretty much all the way through. It still isn't the widest shoe around, but you will get some stretch out of the Hybrid Touch upper from how they fit from right out of the box. So if they are a little bit snug, don't worry about that too much. It will change a little bit after some break-in time, but overall, if you do have wide feet, probably not the best option for you. Stick to something that's going to offer more stretch and perhaps made from a leather upper. But overall, like I said, they'll fit most people, and they do fit quite comfortably for a tight fitting shoe. The Hybrid Touch is soft, it's flexible, and just feels really good against your foot. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size for the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the AG 2015 F50 adizero. For a lot of people, the main reason why they buy the F50 line is to have that ultra lightweight sensation on their feet. And you definitely will get that from the firm ground or soft ground variations of the shoe. But when it comes to the AG model, if that is what you're looking for, if that's the main reason why you're buying an F50, do not buy these because they weigh 9 ounces. That's not lightweight. That's not what an F50 adizero should be. It boggles my mind that Adidas did something that, like I said, is along the lines of being pretty lazy by just implementing their generic AG sole plate and stud pattern on this particular shoe, making it weigh 2 ounces more than the firm ground variation. But they did what they did. And as long as you can get past the fact that this is not a lightweight F50 adizero, this is actually a very good shoe. You're going to get good performance and good durability in artificial grass. It's going to provide a premium level of comfort, a very high quality, solid barefoot feel for the ball, and pretty much everything you would expect from a high-end ultra thin soccer shoe. Unfortunately, it just isn't ultra light. So for that reason, it's not a bad shoe, but it's not necessarily a shoe that I can recommend as an ultra lightweight option for use on artificial grass. So just please keep that in mind if you were at all interested in a pair of these for yourself. With that being said, I will be following up with my full written review hopefully within the next week or two. I'm still working on my full review of the firm ground variation, which should be coming up very, very soon. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook, that is where I let you guys know when the reviews go up on my website, or you can just keep checking back to the website soccerreviewsforyou.com. If you want to go to the review page for the AG variation, first link down below in the description, that's where the full written review will be posted. And in the meantime, you will find the high quality images of this shoe that I took myself, as well as buy it now links with the best prices online if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself. If you have any questions at all regarding the AG 2015 F50 adizero, leave your questions down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. Any suggestions as well, leave them down below in the comments. I'll have a look at everything. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.